Hi everyone, hope you're all having a good day. My name is Gabby and these are my next steps. So my career goal is to become a social worker. More specifically, a school social worker. I would like to work with kids, young adults, teens. I would like to start off in an elementary school if possible, and then work my way up to middle school and possibly high school. People tend to think that a school counselor and a school social worker are the same things, but they're not. So, a school counselor is more focused on how you're doing academically, your grades. If you're in high school, you sort of plan out your classes for the following year to make sure you're doing what you need to do in order to go to college or whatever your plans are after high school. And then a school social worker is focused on more focused on the social and psychological effects a student may be experiencing that may also be hindering their academic progress. School social workers also work alongside the principals, vice principals, counselors, teachers, and school nurses, and if there is present, school psychologists. So in California, the annual income for a school social worker is $66,000 a year. Start from $33,000 and you can work your way up to $93,000. After completing my general education here at Skyline College, I am planning on transferring to San Francisco State University and applying for the Bachelor's of Arts in Social Work. After completing my bachelor's, I am planning on getting my master's in social work. I have a couple schools in mind, one of them being UC Berkeley. So we'll see how it goes. While working on this project, I couldn't help but think about my experience with a social worker. When I was little, my parents were going through a divorce, and basically being able to interact and have a one-on-one conversation with a social worker and have someone there who isn't biased of what was going on at the time was very helpful. We would have group sessions with other kids who were going through something of the sort, and we would talk about coping mechanisms and talk about how we were feeling. And it was a nice environment and setting to be in when you think that you're alone, and when you have these thoughts that why is it happening to you. And I'm very thankful that my school provided a social worker, and I can't think of what what the outcome of my life would have been like if there wasn't that sort of support for me at such a young age, if that makes any sense. So I guess this also ties in with another career goal is I want to be a difference in an adolescent's life. I want them to, whatever they're going through, even if it's at home, if it's at school, if it's academics, whatever the trouble is, I want them to have this sort of, I want them to know that everything passes and that we'll get through it. It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as they're willing to, to want my help, then I'm all for it. And I know that it's easier said than done, but that's what my main objective and goal is to make a safe space for someone who needs it, and a support for someone who needs it, because that really helped me when I needed it the most in my life. So while completing this project, I also realized how much schooling it will be to get to where I want, what my end goal is, which is finish my GEs at Skyline, get my bachelor's at SF State, and get my master's in maybe Berkeley. So I think it'll be an interesting ride to see where I am now and look back to look back in maybe 5 to 6 years, who knows how long it'll take, to look back at this video and see how much I've grown as a person and how much knowledge I have accumulated over the years about social work, or if anything's changed, you know, like, who knows? No one really knows. So it'll be interesting to see, to look back at this video and see where I am, where I was, and then where I am right now in the future. Okay, thank you.